All right, let's call to order the May 13th, 2024 meeting of Town Council. If you could please rise for the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. We have a few announcements this evening. The first one, I'd like to make a recognition of a individual in our community who has recently passed away. A little something to say. Please join us here in a moment for silence for Dan Stack. Dan served his community as the town of McCandless Fire Marshal for over 25 years. It was a volunteer firefighter with the Highland 186. He was a dedicated servant of this community and will be missed by all that knew him. Please join me in this moment of silence. Thank you. Continuing on with some other announcements, the town of McCandless recognizes National Police Week, which is observed May 12th to the 18th to honor the commitment of law enforcement and to recognize those law enforcement officers who have lost their lives in the line of duty for the protection of others. On May 9th, McCandless Police participated in a mock crash at North Allegheny High School to educate students about the dangers of impaired and distracted driving. Town of McCandless Junior Council member Carson Corona coordinated the effort, along with many other community agencies and our fire departments and first responders, including the ambulance authority. I believe Carson will give a little bit of a synopsis at the next meeting.
Yep.
Another continuing on our first responder role, the McCandless Franklin Park Ambulance Authority has earned national accreditation by the Commission on Accreditation of Ambulance Services, an independent agency that establishes a comprehensive series of standards for the industry. Only 182 agencies nationwide were CAS accredited as of April out of 14,000 ambulance organizations in the country. Hats off to the ambulance authority. The 2024 paving program is underway. The full paving list is available on the town website. The McCandless North Allegheny Heritage and Cultural Center will host a presentation on sustainability in our community on May 14th at 7 p.m. Registration is required, and you can see the town website for more information. My final announcement is scheduled on May 23rd at 6 p.m. The McCandless North Allegheny Heritage and Cultural Center is presenting presentation entitled Never Again, Connecting the Horrors of the Holocaust and Anti-Semitism with Injustices of the Day. Registration again is required. Please see the town website for more information. Are there any other announcements by anyone else on council? Then at this time, I will ask if there is any public comment on agenda items. If so, please come forward, state your name and address. Pending no public comment, we can now move further into our meeting. Minutes were submitted to everyone on council. Did everybody have a chance to review them?
Yes.
Yes.
I make a motion to accept the minutes of April 22nd, 2024.
There's a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
There's a second. All those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. This carries into the reports of committees. I will turn it over to Mr. Wall for reports of public safety.
Thank you. Can I have the chief's report, please?
Sir.
Good evening, folks. You have my report if you have any questions. Couple highlights I would like to bring to your attention is we had a very busy training month. We had one officer attend. He's already on the SRT team. He attended his basic SWAT training, which is a mandatory certification for North Hills SRT operators. We had 2 officers attend Red Dot firearms training, which is a Red Dot site that most police departments in the U.S. are transitioning to. Officers who want to improve their aim are transitioning to this, and we had 2 officers attend that training. We also had an officer, one of our sergeants, attend Krav Maga instructor training. We will use him to train our officers in-house just on control tactics. You know, if you're on scene, officer presence, if you have an uncooperative subject, maybe you need to temporarily restrain them or even handcuff them in an arrest situation. These tactics will help our officers to protect themselves and the detainee or arrestee. We had an officer attend level 1 accident reconstruction training, and another officer attended training on assisting persons who experienced trauma. So we also had our normal monthly, the K9 had his training with his partner. We had Bigs and Blue, that's coming to an end here in another week for the school year. Unused medications, as we do just about every month, we turned in a 36 pounds. So we always do. We had our, not in April, but we did have, in May, we had our, last week, the written and physical agility test. We had 36 total candidates. Unfortunately, about 26 showed up actually. 3 failed the physical agility, so we tested 23. I haven't heard those results yet.
Any idea when interviews would start with personnel board?
I'd like to get them underway as soon as we have those scores, and I hope to have those scores by the end of this week, next week at the latest. I need to coordinate with personnel board. I've already asked Justin Ameno to keep it in mind on how we can coordinate to get maybe 23 people interviewed. Maybe if everyone passes.
I had heard that you had officers that tried out for the CERT team. Is that correct? Last Friday.
We, the SRT team administered tryouts. I think a McCandless Franklin Park medic might have been one of the ones that tried out, but I hadn't heard how he performed.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, sir. Other things on here, K9 Sorali and his partner got a stab-proof vest. He partnered with Spikes K9 as well as K9 Storm Incorporated, who made the vest. And of course, we are grateful to any folks who donate to the K9 program and maybe help make this possible. And then finally, on my report, we met with the NA North Allegheny baseball team. We've done that now annually for at least several or more years. And we wish them the best in the playoff push.
Anybody have any questions? Thanks, Chief.
Thank you, folks.
Mr. Wisner, Fire Marshal's report. Jeff, you and all the volunteer fire companies, I have our deepest sympathy and the loss of David Stack.
You guys have my report. One thing I just want to publicly acknowledge 3 individuals who, I don't know if they volunteered or were forced, but anyways, we're part of the fire apparatus driving committee, where we met a few times, came up with the new driver's policy that seemed to be widely accepted. That would be Ken Kinzel with Highland, Jim Vicek with Ingemar, and Jeff Giger of Peebles. After we kind of come up with the standard operating guideline and driver's training policy, which included checklists for all the different types of apparatus that one may drive. Then I reviewed it, Mr. O'Malley, and all looks good. One thing I didn't know was if our solicitor should look at it or needed to look at it, but I figured I'd ask.
I'll have that discussion with Steve. And we'll
Okay.
figure out.
All right. Other than that, I have nothing else to add. Any questions?
Is the new driving standards, is that going to become part of policy?
Not ours, but
It's a joint effort, so it becomes the policy of the 3 volunteer fire departments
Okay.
along with McCandless.
Okay.
instead of having 3 separate individual policies, it's now one.
That's up to you and those involved to help get
Thank
that
you.
to them. Thank you.
Thanks, Joe.
All right, thank you.
Building permit report for the month of April.
Building permit, summary and report were in your packet. If you have any questions, let me know.
Thank you. Liaison reports, personnel board. We did not have an official meeting in the last month. We will have a meeting coming up. Volunteer firemen's steering committee.
We did have a report, our meeting on the 23rd of April, and the minutes are in the packet.
Okay, thank you. Franklin Park Ambulance Authority, Mr. Casey.
Reports are in your packet. If there's any questions, I'd be glad to entertain them.
Is there any public comment?
Wait.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I just thought, the open house is this weekend.
That's
Would
right.
Want to remind everybody that this
Good
Sunday
house.
is the McCandless Franklin Park Open House from noon to 3,
And it-
and all are welcome.
I think it's the 19th.
19th.
Yes,
Yeah.
that is
Sunday,
correct.
Sunday,
the
Sunday the 19th. And their meeting is actually on Monday, the 20th,
Yeah.
right? Okay.
Thank
Same
you,
meeting
Trish.
the same night.
Mhm.
Okay. Any other questions about the ambulance authority? Thank you. We have any public comment on public safety? Seeing none, I'll turn this over to Mr. Hart.
Need to do a report on facilities management from the staff due to the recent departure of Jeff Shoneman. We'll defer that to our town manager.
Oh, yeah, the staff report for Public Works was in your packet. If you have any questions, let me know. I'd note that we're working on a playground that we're building in-house at Vestal Park. Along with a sidewalk project that we've been trying to finish on our property on McCandless Drive. That is a nice little section that connects some other sidewalks for some connectivity around Town Hall here and North Park. And the paving program, as we mentioned in the beginning, is ongoing. They've Shields Paving is the contractor. They've milled probably about a third of the roads we're gonna do. And then they're gonna come back here, start paving that and start milling some of the other ones.
Brian, where on the Vestal property is the playground going?
It is in left field of the little field in the back. Kind of little triangle or a little area that we found and was able to find some good priced equipment.
Where the old shed was.
Oh, okay. That actually makes sense to me. I'm trying to think about it.
Liaison reports, Environmental Advisory Committee,
Meeting minutes on your packet. If you have any questions, let me know.
Ad Hoc Technology Committee,
There was no meeting.
and the Ad Hoc Stormwater Management Committee, Mr. Singer.
There was no meeting, but we'll have one coming up shortly.
And public comment on facilities management at this time.
Be easier if Irene just tells us if she's gonna comment on something and then we'll know. We'll keep asking Irene.
I'll give you a written.
Seeing none, we'll move on to the reports of the Services Committee. This is Clunin.
Thank you. We will begin with liaison reports. Number 1 from the McCandless Township Sanitary Authority, Mr. Casey.
The information's in your packet. If you have any questions, I'd be glad to entertain them.
Hearing none, we move to Mr. Giorgetti in the Northland Public Library Authority.
Meeting minutes on your packet. If you have any questions, let me know, but Irene will probably know more than I will know, and she's here with us.
Our May meeting's a week tomorrow, so. Are looking for, and the application is online now, looking for a new junior board member. Since our current one will be graduating. So if you know of any interested junior or senior. It doesn't have to even be North Allegheny, or we can't put anybody within our 5. Or 5.
Thank you.
Again, if we have any public comment on the Services Committee. And hearing none, back to Mr. Singer.
There is no pending old business. There is one item of new business. This is the Browns towing. We've seen this in front of us a couple times. We've had the public hearing. This is just the finalization of that. You want to add anything to it, Brian?
No, this is, as we've discussed, the process to give Brown's Towing a conditional use, which if they meet all the conditions, in our zoning ordinance, we, essentially need to permit and and approve this. So, at this point, it is a formality and the last vote for us to grant that full conditional use.
Is there a motion
I'll
on the
make a
table?
motion.
Ms. Clune?
I'd like to make a motion to approve conditional use application filed by Brown's Towing, seeking approval for a tow lot and vehicle staging and storage. warehouse slash distribution use category M-C district at 8960 Perry Highway, Pittsburgh, PA 15237. Subject to conditions noted in a staff report dated May 6, 2024 by Planning and Development Director RJ Sesko.
Like to second that.
There's a second. There's been a motion and a second. All those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. At this time, are there any public non-agenda comments?
Keep asking.
I think that anyone should. Pending no additional comments from the public, then can I have a motion to? adjourn?
Megan, I just note that we will be meeting next week to remind everybody that because due to the Memorial Day holiday, that our meeting will be moving up 1 week.
Thank you, Trish. Anything else? Motion to adjourn?
So motion to adjourn.
Is there a second? All those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Stacy, is
Like next week, I can come prepared with the news.
That would be.